Paltrocast.
So, Bryan, how is your day going aside from answering the same questions over and over and over again from journalists?
Hey man, this is great. Like I've worked on this movie for four something years, and it's finally coming out, and I get a chance to talk about it. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, not just a star, not just the producer, writer, director. Did you know outright, hey, you want to have all these hats, or did a director fall through and you went, okay, I'm doing that?
No, I wanted to do it all. I just thought, hey, let's try it. Let's see if I can do it. I know I'm not the first person in the history of time to do this, so I didn't think it was that crazy of an idea. And I really had the vision for it, and I wanted to tell it. I wanted to tell this story, and I wanted to play this role. And so yeah, that was always the vision. And yeah, there were iterations where people were like, "Hey, this can get made if you aren't in it, or if you aren't directing it." And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that version. I want to do this version. And then maybe the next movie I won't be in it or whatever. But for this one, I want to try it. And it was, for me, it was like film school. I learned how to make a movie from soup to nuts. It's crazy. Like I I was a part of every single process in this, and it was amazing. And
The
so
whole the whole concept, and sorry to rudely interrupt you there, but the whole concept of I wrote the thing, we'll buy it, but don't be in it. Does that all come back to Stallone and Rocky, that in the back of your mind?
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just like, look, I wasn't getting the roles I wanted at the time, which inspired me to kind of, one of the inspirations to make my own movie. But my real inspiration was to tell the story. But I was like, if people aren't going to give me the roles that I want, I'll make it myself. And I was sort of like backed into a corner with it. And I took a negative situation and I turned it into a positive for myself. And I guess I'm kind of proud of myself for just fighting and getting it made, because it was not easy.
That's fascinating to me that you weren't getting the roles that you were hoping for, because us as the outsiders, we don't see the movies in the order that they were filmed. So
Yeah,
I would go, yeah, I just saw Brian a couple of months ago in You People. So
yeah.
in other words, I'm not thinking of, hey, I haven't seen that guy in a while. But you, on the
No,
other hand,
I was working. Don't get me wrong. I was working. I wasn't, but and don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to disparage any of the projects I was working on. I just felt like as an actor, I had more depth to me and just like a different level to reach, and I wanted to show that to myself and the audience. And I wasn't getting those opportunities, so I decided to create my own.
got it.
Yeah.
Usually when I'm speaking with a director, I go, so who's the first actor that came on board with this that said it was okay? Obviously, it's Jamie.
Yeah. I didn't really have a choice in that. No, but to be honest, Jamie's such a fantastic actor. I'd put her in anything and everything, and I think she has like the emotional depth to nail that this role required. So I was like, please, I had to beg her to do it, and she, luckily, yes, yeah, just like when I had to beg her to marry me.
Well, credit goes to her because when you think of the first place that we knew of Jamie, Road Rules.
Right.
At
Oh no, no, Real World.
I'm sorry, another Bunham Murray production. Uh, when you think about that, the talent incubator that is Road Rules and Real World, it's
Mm.
incredible how many big stars came from those shows. So kudos to her for showing the depth, for overcoming all the odds with all that. Now, who
Yeah.
was the second talent that went, Brian's doing this, I'm on board?
I mean, it was I don't remember the order of it. I mean, I called in a lot of favors on this one. Most of these people I've worked with before, except for Dasha, I didn't know her. But Griffin Dunn, I worked with on How to Make It. Ryan Eggold, I didn't work with, but I was a fan of. And we met at film festivals. Michaela Conlon, I went to NYU with back in the day. These were all favors. These were all, Yara Martinez, worked with her on The Tick on Amazon. So you normally directors doing this kind of budget of a film don't get this caliber of a cast together. So I was very, very lucky, and I called in all the favors, and they said yes.
You just said one of the magic names, NYU. I would
Yeah.
say 1 in 3 shows being made right now is either starring showrun, directed, produced by an NYU alumnus. When did you start to
Really?
notice that all the people you were going to school with were running Hollywood?
I haven't worked with that many of them. Am I? Maybe I'm not aware of them. They weren't in my class.
Okay, well, if we go to that Amazon Mr. and Mrs. Smith adaptation,
Oh, okay. Oh,
the two
Donald
leads,
Glover went there, right? Did he
yeah,
have my? Yeah,
Donald Glover and Ms. Erskine
yeah,
went there, and then
yeah.
you look at Miles Teller,
Oh,
etc.
your mouse did too. Yeah, yeah. I think I'm a little older than them, and it's funny because like I always say that like I'm 45, right? But when I came up at NYU, like our job was just to be actors. Like that's all I knew, and it was just to be the best version of an actor. And I think like Donald Glover, maybe 5 years younger than me, and Mindy Kaling, and Aziz, and this whole other. I don't know if Aziz went to NYU, but there's like a 5 year gap where I think those are the people that decided, no, 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 we're going to create our own projects, and and I think that was, I came to that lesson a little bit later, and I think it was ingrained in a younger generation. I think this younger generation is content creators and they do that, but I kind of had to learn that skill retroactively.
Got it. So speaking of retroactively, are we allowed to know what project's next from you, or do we just have to wait for the Hollywood Reporter and Variety embargoes to lift?
Yeah, I'm currently filming a project called the Emperor of Ocean Park for MGM Plus with Forest Whitaker in Chicago. I'm not in Chicago right now. I'm in Los Angeles. I was in Chicago yesterday filming that, and then I'm here doing Junction.
Wow.
But I'm going back to Chicago next week to film that, and I don't know when that's coming out because we just started filming. But it's a fantastic script, fantastic cast, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Is that just you on screen as actor, or also producing?
No, just acting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right now, I'm just acting. I mean, I've been developing my own projects. I just wrote a television pilot. I wrote another film. I'm writing another film. So I am exercising that muscle more now because I want to do more of this. I want to be more of a writer and a director.
So what I'm hearing is the next time that there's a Bryan Greenberg project, we don't know what network or streamer it's going to, which film studio, what your job titles are going to be, how many job titles you're going to have on that.
Hey man, I'm an artist. You look at my profile. I know people ask me what I do, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm an artist. I create. I mean, I put out albums. As a musician. I don't know. It all helps me. It all leads me to this place where I'm at right now. Like when I'm in an edit, I felt that was not that crazy of a place to be at because I've sat over a music producer's shoulder for many years, like, hey, let's adjust this rhythm and do that. And that's what editing is. It's like finding the rhythm. So it's all connected to me as an artist, it's all storytelling. It's all, I don't know, getting your vision across and helping to elicit performances and from other people to help get that vision across.
Cool. Well, last question before I let you go. You did mention the musician part. I was curious. You have LA ties.
Right.
Was Van Halen ever an influence on you?
Van Halen?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I grew up in the '80s, of course. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the Midwest in the '80s, so yeah. I mean, Animal, Jump, yeah, of course. Why? Why? Do you hear it or see it in my work at all?
Because anytime you say the name Van Halen, your article traffic goes up about 34% overnight.
Oh, let's Van Halen the hell out of this.
No, the bottom line is thank you for the many years of great art. Really looking forward to whatever's coming next from you, and congrats on Junction.
Appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me about it and getting the word out there. Appreciate it.
Paltrocast.